Hello, everyone. Welcome back. This week, we're joined by two guests, John and Adnan. Welcome back.
Thank you. Thank you. It's good to hear.
So we're going to do the usual predictions, but first, let's talk about the first game week of the Premier League. What do you think about it, guys? How was your team performing and other stuff related to that? What do you think?
Uh, how the season for me personally started on a very, very bad note. It was a big joke. Personally, I don't believe that after all the investment as United has done during the preseason, um, losing one game out of I believe 4 games that we played, then you come to the Premier League and you start with a loss, man. As in what even? I think it was so disappointing having our hopes so high and then coming to receive a defeat at home to Brighton. So it was a disappointing start for us or rather for me as a United supporter. But at this point, I don't even know that I should say we're hoping for the best. But by default, of course, we're hoping for the best, and hopefully we'll get an improvement from the team all round.
Yeah, how about you, Adnan? What do you think about your past game as well?
Yeah, I'm also a Manchester United fan, so I'm also very disappointed. I expected at least a really good transfer window from Manchester United. From the start of the season, I expected we should be having a holding midfielder. I think McTominay and Fred should not start for Manchester United again, especially McTominay. I think after Eriksen came to the CDM, we played kind of well, but Brighton outplayed us in the first half. They scored more goals, and I think Manchester United showed that in their normal ways. I think with new era, still the same Manchester United. So I'm really disappointed.
Okay, let's continue on with the weekend's games. Saturday starts off with Aston Villa versus Everton. John, what do you think?
Aston Villa versus Everton. Everton really showed their best against Chelsea. I feel like Chelsea really got away with that penalty goal against Aston Villa, having lost 2-0 to Bournemouth, which was quite surprising to be honest, considering they have a stronger team compared to Bournemouth. Bournemouth having a solid striker. Mo is looking quite of a threat, so I think for me it's gonna be another Bournemouth win or a draw, personally, because
Everton.
Aston Villa. Pardon?
Everton.
We're talking about Everton versus Aston Villa, rather. So Aston Villa versus Everton, I think it's going to be an Aston Villa loss. So either a loss or a draw for me. So Everton win or I'll draw.
Okay, how about you, Adnan? What do you think about Aston Villa versus Everton?
I think for me, it's between Gerrard and Lampard. And I think Gerrard has been on the losing streak for so long. I think he wins one game, he loses the other. He's very inconsistent. But this game, I can't see much. I think Everton to win 1-0. So I think it's a hard game, but I think Everton might win it.
Okay, how about Arsenal versus Leicester, which is next? Arsenal, of course, won the last game. Leicester drew. What do you think, John?
Arsenal are looking good, looking sharp, looking fresh. I love to see it, to be honest. So I think for me it's gonna be an Arsenal win, but they'll have to fight for it, of course, because I believe Leicester, their game they drew or they won.
They drew.
I believe they drew, yeah, they drew 2-2.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They were playing who? Brentford.
yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So I think it's a 2-2 draw. Of course, after losing their main man and their goalkeeper, um, Michael, to after he got a transfer to Nice. I think they're still reshuffling their number one goalkeeper as far as I know. So I think for me it's gonna be a tough match for Leicester. Still getting back to the league. So, but for me, I think it's gonna be an Arsenal win.
Okay, how about you, Adnan? Arsenal or Leicester? Who do you think will win this weekend?
I watched the last game, Arsenal Crystal Palace. I think Arsenal looked fantastic. I think they were playing really well. And for the top four, I think Arsenal will challenge for the top four. I think them, Tottenham, and Chelsea are all looking good. So I will go for an Arsenal win. I think Arsenal win. Arsenal 2-1 win like that.
Okay, and then now this is a tough one. Brighton versus Newcastle. What do you think about this one?
Pretty interesting match. Newcastle have been busy this transfer window as well. Of course, bringing in a few players like Target. Target was playing for Burnley, I believe.
Brighton.
Aston Villa.
No? Yeah, sorry.
Aston Villa, yeah, rather. Sorry for that. Aston Villa, and he was brought in this season. Newcastle have also been busy, so they have quite a strong squad. Playing against Brighton, who have also their midfield for Brighton is looking pretty strong. Trossard, Lalana, pretty strong players, of course, and their main man Pascal Gross, who was able to come out with a brace at Old Trafford. So yeah, I think it's gonna be a draw or a win. Probably mine is a draw or a win for Brighton.
Okay, how about you, Adnan? Brighton or Newcastle? Who do you think will win?
This game, I think this is a tough game. I think this is a challenging one for Newcastle. I think Newcastle fans are very optimistic this season. They are really hopeful. So I'm going this game. I think it's a very hard one. So I will go with a draw. I think I won one draw for this game, and I don't see any team winning. I think both teams are really good, and especially the way Brighton played against Manchester United and the way Newcastle won. So I will go with a win. I think I won one. I won one draw. I mean, so.
Okay, and then another tough game. Man City take on Brighton, of course. Sorry, Man City take on Bournemouth. Man City won their last game. Bournemouth as well won their last game. What do you think about this one?
As a Man City win, not a difficult match for Man City, to be honest. Their main man Haaland is looking dangerous. Oh, that man is spectacular. Such a quality forward. It's a forward you'd want in a big team such as Man City. Their midfield, Gundogan is looking fresh, is looking sharp. De Bruyne, we have Cancelo on the side. We have Ake played the last game. I don't know whether he's gonna play this game, but the whole team is looking complete. So for me, it's gonna be a Man City win, clean. No debate about that.
Okay, how about you, Adnan? Man City take on Bournemouth.
I think this will be an easy Manchester City win. I think although Bournemouth won, I think Bournemouth won their first game against Aston Villa. I don't think they will challenge Man City. I think the way De Bruyne and Haaland are linking, I don't think Bournemouth can handle that. The way I saw the game against West Ham, Haaland making the runs in behind the defenders. I think the combination between De Bruyne and Haaland will be too dangerous for the season. So I will go for an easy Man City win.
Okay, and then Southampton take on Leeds. What do you think about this one? Leeds, of course, had a comeback against Wolves the last game, and they went on to win it. What do you think about this one?
They won 2-1, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah. I watched the game. The game was pretty. They had a dull start, of course, with Podence scoring the first goal for Wolves. But coming into the second half, I think they were sharper, looking more lethal, looking more scared, bringing threats towards the opposition goal. Harrison is looking very sharp. We have likes like Bamford, who are also looking like a very strong forward. So for me, I think it's gonna be a Leeds win. Yeah.
Okay, how about you, Adnan? Southampton or Leeds?
Southampton facilities. Well, this game I'm just seeing Southampton win. I think Southampton will win. I think Southampton will win 2-0, 2-1 there.
Okay, and then Wolves take on Fulham. Of course, Fulham gave a huge threat to Liverpool in the last game, but they couldn't manage to control it. till full time. The game ended with a draw. What do you think about this one, John?
Pardon, who is playing? Wolves is playing who?
Fulham.
Fulham. Oh, Fulham had a pretty spectacular start of the season with the legend himself, Alexander Mitrovic, who's never left that team since Juicy's when. Such a solid striker, never disappoints, always delivers, always a threat. So we should be watching out for him the game against Wolves. The thing about Premier League is that you never know how it goes. It's quite an unpredictable league, one of the toughest leagues in the world. So I think for me, it's gonna be a draw or a Fulham win.
Okay, how about you, Adnan? Fulham versus Wolves. What do you think about this?
Fulham was although Fulham I think played really well against Liverpool. They maintained that Liverpool game, but this is a different game. I think both teams are of equal talent. So I will go with the Wolves win. Wolves 2-1, 3-1 win.
Okay, and the last game on Saturday, Brentford take on Man United. Brentford Stadium, a hard place to go to. Man United has lost their last match, and Brentford drew. What do you think about this one?
Another Man United loss for me. It's no two ways about it, to be honest. I don't know what to expect as a United supporter. We have so much to do, so much to work on. I just hope Scott McTominay and Fred don't start, and Eriksen gets to work on the midfield, and Bruno also doesn't get to start. I think that we depend too much on Bruno, and he needs to sit on the bench that he knows that he's not the only one who can play in that position. I think VDB should start. I think Eriksen should start. Then we should have, of course, the two wingers. I hope Martial will be fit enough to play the match. If not, then we should play Ronaldo as our forward. Hopefully, we'll have more sharpness from our forwards because we had a lot of opportunities in our Brighton game, but sadly, we were not able to finish them off. But having Eriksen in the midfield is much more efficient than having him forward. So I think for me, I think it's going to be either a loss to United or a draw.
Yeah, also, and as the game against Brighton, I think we were really disappointing, and there is nothing much that can change. I think the same midfield are still there. I think McTominay and Fred will still play. I don't think Man United will win that game, especially going to Brentford's stadium, which is very, very noisy and their fans are crazy. So I might go with that draw. I think a 1-1 draw.
Okay, Nottingham take on West Ham on Sunday. What do you think about this?
West Ham win for me. Antonio is looking very sharp. Also, although they experienced setback against Man City, of course, that was going to be a tough match. But I think it's going to be a West Ham win, trying to come back, trying to get back in the game. Oh, sorry, excuse me. So it's going to be a West Ham win for me.
Okay, how about you, Adnan? Nottingham Forest versus West Ham. What do you think about this?
I think West Ham are too strong for Nottingham Forest. I don't think Nottingham Forest can handle West Ham. So I'll go with the West Ham win. Although West Ham lost against Manchester, I think they lost 2-0, which is not bad against Manchester City. And they kind of played well. So I will go with the West Ham win. And Nottingham actually lost. So I'll go with the West Ham 2-0 win.
Okay, and then the first big game of the season, Chelsea take on Tottenham. Tottenham, of course, won their last game, and Chelsea ran away with it with only a 1-0 win against Everton. What do you think about this one?
Yes.
Ooh, intense match. That's going to be a match I'm going to want to watch. But I think it's going to be a Tottenham win for me. Chelsea are looking very dead, to be honest. They are just looking there. There's no spark in their game. Just playing like an average Premier League team, in my opinion. Yeah, so I think it's gonna be a Tottenham win. Tottenham are looking like a threat. Son there, Kuliveski, Who is it?
Kane,
Pardon?
Harry Kane, Mr. Kane.
Yes, of course. And leave the likes of Harry Kane. We have Hobart, who's playing
Perisic.
mid. Perisic, of course, there is a wing back. I think Tottenham is looking too solid right now. So I think it's gonna be a Tottenham win. Probably even like a 2-0 win, 3-0 win. Tottenham is solid. Yeah, I think it's gonna be a Tottenham win for me.
Okay, and then Adnan, what do you think about this? Chelsea versus Tottenham?
I think that's the first big game of the season, and a really big game because both of them, I think. And about Chelsea, I think Chelsea's their transfer was about their defense and everything. They are, I think, trying to buy Fofana again. They bought Koulibaly. They have really good defense, which is hard to break them. But also they are lacking in front. If you saw again their last game, I think they bought only Sterling, and their game was boring. I think it was defensive minded. So I think with Conte and Tottenham, the way they are playing, they are playing really good football with Son, Kulusevski, and Kane. I think it's an Tottenham win. So I'll go with the Tottenham 2-0 win.
Okay, that's it for Sunday. Monday night football. Liverpool take on Crystal Palace. Of course, Crystal Palace wasn't an easy opponent for Arsenal, and but eventually they lost. Liverpool drew against Fulham. What do you think about this one?
Liverpool and Crystal Palace. I think it's gonna be a Liverpool win for me. Of course, as much as Liverpool had a short setback playing Fulham, I think it's still gonna be a Liverpool win. Nunes is looking sharp. We have the likes of Diaz. As much as he didn't play that well the first match, I'm sure he'll be wanting to redeem himself. So I think it's gonna be a Liverpool win for me. Crystal Palace, I don't think they stand a chance.
Okay, how about you, Adnan? Liverpool versus Crystal Palace.
Although they drew against Fulham, I think this is an easy Liverpool win. Although it will be a challenging one, but I think it won't be as challenging as Fulham's game. So I think Liverpool is the win. Nunes will start, I think, after that impressive Fulham game. So an easy Liverpool 3-0 win.
Okay, we're done with the predictions. Now let's talk about transfer news. Of course, United have signed Eriksen, Lisandro Martinez. Yeah, I think those two. And are looking to sign De Jong, but it's a bit of a push and pull type of deal. What do you think about the business of your team so far?
The De Jong story is looking very, very interesting, to be honest, because as per Barcelona and De Jong, they have some sort of beef between each other about their contract, and Barcelona not have been paying, or they have they owe De Jong money. They have a debt, I believe so. Yeah, I stand corrected.
Yeah, they have a deal.
Yes. Barcelona owe De Jong money. And Barcelona is a team that we don't understand, because as far as we knew a while back, they didn't have money, and they were even looking for ways to raise funds. But at the same time, they have been so active in this transfer window, buying Lewandowski, they bought Rafinha, among others. So I don't know what exactly is happening in the Barcelona camp, but I really hope we can get De Jong. We are suffering in that midfield position. We have no experience. McTominay's movement on the ball is like a tractor. His journey is just taking its time. He can't turn, he can't do anything. Now imagine you have Maguire and McTominay on the same team. I mean, both of you are just doomed, bro. There's no hope. So I think we should just genuinely get a defensive midfielder. We should invest in a defensive midfielder, and De Jong is just looking like the most prominent the midfielder we can get. So I'm really, really hoping we get him. Fingers crossed. Otherwise, we need to think fast. I don't see why we should get Rabiot from Juventus. I don't even think he wants to come to United in the first place. So yeah, I'm also glad we stopped following Marko Arnautovic. Don't see why we need him. as an old guy. His time is up in the Premier League, so I don't think we need a young forward, and the potentially young forward that I was seeing would have been such a perfect fit for United would have been Sesko, but unfortunately enough, he was bought by RB Leipzig just the other day. So I guess that transfer is quite over. But I really, really wish we get a young, attacking forward. We can't keep on United is behaving like a retirement home for football players. We can't be having old guys coming and then they leave after 1 year. We need to invest on a proper forward. So that's just my opinion. So we need to invest in a midfielder, and as United, they also need to invest on a forward.
Okay, Adnan, what do you think about United's business so far?
So far, I think it's a bit average. I think the signing of Lisandro Martinez is a really good one, and I think they should have signed by now. I think the deal for De Jong should have been done, and I saw that Chelsea are challenging us for De Jong. They are also willing to pay the same money, and he prefers to go to Chelsea because I think they have Champions League football. And I don't know why Chelsea want him, because Chelsea have Kante, they have Jorginho, they have Kovacic. They're just trying to nick him from us. So I think it was a very average transfer window. I think we did not do that much. We got Eriksen, as Lisandro Martinez, and Malassi. So I think Malassi and Martinez, I was impressed. I think Eriksen, we got him for free. But we could have done so much better. I think we could have done so. If we could have gotten at least Bissouma, I think Tottenham got Bissouma for 26 million. That was a very good transfer for them. If we could have gotten, I think we would have been far. I think we have gotten Bissouma and De Jong. I think that will be a very good transfer. But now, I think it's looking not that good.
Yeah, this is an open discussion question. The last one. What do you think about Barcelona's unfairness towards De Jong, and also how they can't register players and they still buy more players? What do you think about it?
The Barcelona camp is looking very confused, to be honest. I don't even know their full story. I don't even know how or why they haven't registered. I think it's close to 6 players, if
Yeah,
I'm not wrong.
yeah.
So for them to not have registered 6 players, so why are you buying more players? You can't register even the ones that are already there. And even to add on that, how what they have done to De Jong is very wrong. De Jong, I'm sure, is a very quality player. Um, even Pedro was it not Pedro, Xavi rather. Sorry about that. Xavi also knows that De Jong is such a key player in their squad. So for Barcelona to be treating De Jong like that is very wrong. It's not right. And Barcelona, I don't know, they have so much going on and it's looking very unsettled. I don't know what's going to happen there.
Okay, what do you think, Adnan, about Barcelona's fairness towards De Jong and also how they can't register players?
I don't know what's happening with Barcelona, because I think they are in so much debt, and I think they have the best transfer window so far, because they bought so many good players. They also want now Bernardo Silva, and they have not registered because they already bought Rafinha and Lewandowski. Those they have not registered any of them. And I heard that if they don't register by their first game in La Liga, the likes of Christensen and Casey might go for free. So it's a really hard one. I don't know where they haven't paid De Jong and where they have spent so much money on others when they could have just paid De Jong. And they were competing with big names, and like a team that has not. Why Manchester United and De Jong still took that much? They could have just paid that money from Manchester United. I don't know what's going on behind the scenes with Barcelona, but I think they're doing some shady work. But as Bayern Munich coach said, by some years, I don't think Barcelona would be. I think they might enter liquidation. So we never know what will happen with them, but I think they are optimistic. So we'll see what happens now.
Yeah, we'll see. Of course, I think we're done. Thank you guys for joining this time. I was your host, Fahmy. Like, share, comment, and subscribe or follow for more.